is to always find the good, always find the strength, always find the thing that you believe makes them happy, makes them stand up a little bit taller, a little bit prouder. Find that one little thing and build on it. And with that, you'll have an icebreaker presenter who will walk away with a little better funk in their heart and a little extra step in their step or whatever.
Yeah. Bounce in their step.
They'll feel better.
Awesome. Thank you. Next, we're going to look at an advanced manual speech. And this is a speech that Hal's going to perform for us in a few minutes. It's the entertaining speaker, project number 1. Hal has already performed 10 speeches. This is his 11th speech. And my question to the panel is, how are you going to view the evaluation of this particular speech? Doug?
Oh, you were interested in how? Okay, how am I going to anticipate the evaluation of the speech?
Yes.
Well, like I do with any evaluation. I'm going to clear my mind. I'm going to get rid of all the things I feel and think about Hal. He's going to walk up here as a totally blank slate. And then I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy that speech as best as I can, hear it. And then after his speech is over, then I'll take it all in, review it, and figure out what it is how I want to serve Hal on this day.
Okay. David?
It's hard to be blank when Hal's going to get up to speak because he's so entertaining. But Doug is right. You want to put everything aside and just open yourself up and listen. And I do have expectations for Hal. I can't help it. He is pretty entertaining and he is gregarious and he does get out there. And so I look forward to his speech with anticipation, but I'm not going to prejudge it in any way, and I'm not going to hold him to any standard that he set before. I'm going to try and be open to what he's trying to accomplish here, because Elaine and I talked to him, I'm sure Doug did, beforehand. So
great. Elaine?
What I'm going to do is satisfy my curiosity, because Hal told us just enough about his speech in advance that I am most curious to see how it plays out. And I'm hoping that I can come up with really a good constructive suggestion for improvement, which in Hal's case will be difficult for me to achieve because I've always been captivated by each of the speeches he's given so far.
Thank you. If you'll briefly look at his introduction, and I'm not going to share this with the audience. On a yes or no question, do you think you know what this speech is about? Elaine?
One word.
Yeah.
May I have two?
Sure.
Not exactly.
David?
I can't tell either.
Okay.
It's entertaining, but I can't tell what it's about.
Okay. Doug?
Not a clue.
Okay. Just to have a little comparison, on the icebreaker, I think it seems to me that we're focused on the individual and pumping them up. On the advanced manual, yeah, I think a lot of that is the same, but I think it's also you have more expectations, but you're not here to prejudge that speech. Well, let's have the speech.
Yeah, come on.
Our speaker today is addressing project number 1 from the Advanced Communication Series booklet, The Entertaining Speaker. You'll find drama and humor interlaced in this speech titled, Not Really 6 Feet Under. Working his way to the front is Toastmaster Hal Hines, ready to share with us a 5 to 7 minute down-to-earth presentation. Can you dig it? He can dig it. We can dig it. Can you dig it, baby? Let's give it up for Hal Hines.
I can dig it, he can dig it, she can dig it, we can dig it, they can dig it, you can dig it. Let's dig it, baby. 1969, Friends of Distinction. Lyrics from Grazing in the Grass. Remember the song? Very popular. Went over big. Went to the top of the charts. Can you dig it? I'm going to go to my prop today. Actually, I brought two props along. I think that could pique some interest among the group. And how better to dig it than with this? The title of my speech, Not Quite 6 Feet Under. I'm 6'2". This is about 5'6". This digs a grave. This was given to me by my grandfather in 1961. Can you dig it? My grandfather and my uncle, my grandfather Ernest Turner and my uncle my uncle Russ, needed help in the cemetery back home. They were proprietors that took care of the grass mowing and etc. And when someone would die, they had the responsibility as grave diggers. Yeah, I helped them out. I used this very shovel. This shovel's been used by me with my hands, and I've buried people with it, humans, human bodies. You cannot escape the fact of this. In this room right now, in our group, you cannot escape the fact that we were born, and this is representative of some time in the past when you were born, right? Everybody in this room, correct?
Correct.
That's right. You may not be able to escape the fact that this is a number I'm holding up right now that will be the number of the year of your demise. Is that not true? Unfortunately, it is true. My grandfather took upon himself to have that job to make money for the family because his parents during the Depression didn't really leave a lot of money, although they were in the iron and steel business. And I addressed my grandfather and I said, "Hey, Gramps, you guys are out digging graves. You don't make any money doing that." He says, "Oh, yes, but people are dying to give us business." I said, "Well, what is it about this iron and steel business that your mom and dad did during the Depression?" He says, "That's a misnomer. A lot of people don't understand that. You see, when I told everybody my parents were in the iron and steel business, my grandfather, my pa and my grandfather, they were out stealing every night. And my mom was ironing clothes. That's the iron and steel business we were talking about. So we have to do this to get along and to make money for the family." Let's talk about a commodity now. I walk around the room and I do quite well. You walked into the building and did quite well arriving here, and I would assume that you'd go home the same way. But comes the time when you pass away, you die, you no longer can move about. Someone else has to do that for you. You become a commodity that needs to be moved and shifted and lifted and carried and, unfortunately, disposed of. It's going to happen to all of us down the line. And I don't want to bring a bad feeling upon this group today, but it's reality. And as I studied, I looked at a few things. You need a death certificate from a town clerk. If you die as a patient from a doctor, he has to sign off on you. If you die with mysterious causes at a hospital, the attending physician has to sign something for you. What are we going to do with you? What are we going to do with you? If it's an unexpected death, if somebody comes out and knocks you off, mugs you, and you're down here on the ground with an unanticipated, unexpected cause of death, the medical examiner has to sign off. He has to release, because you're a commodity now. You're not alive and able to go it on your own. You're not taking this with a lot of grave concern, I can see. If it's a communicable disease, you have to involve the health officials. It's a mess. It's tough. But when you look at this handle right here on this shovel, and the things we used to do with this shovel, many state laws throughout the nation